Hi, welcome again to another lesson for English language. And today this lesson is for Form 3. So let's look at the Form 3. Textbook will be English Close Up. Then we are doing Unit 5. The topic is A Place to Call Home. Before we begin, let's look at the learning standards. So here we have one main skill, which is listening. So we have listening 1.2.1. Guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues provided by other words and by context on an increased range of familiar topics. And then we have the complementary skill, reading 3.1.3. Guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues provided by other words and by context on an increased range of familiar topics. For the first task, which is the introduction, we are looking at the vocabulary. So look at the various types of houses and the words given in the list. Match the words to the correct houses. So here you have the houses. There are 8 pictures. So you have all the names. For example, the first one, block of flats. Number 2, bungalow. Number 3, castle. Then you have cottage. Then you have detached house, semi-detached house, tent, and terrace house. We have the answers here. So let's look at the first picture. So the first one is castle. Number 2, tent. Number 3, block of flats. Number 4, bungalow. Number 5, detached house. Number 6, terrace house. Number 7 is a cottage. And number 8, semi-detached house. So now for task 2, it is still vocabulary. Choose the correct answers to complete the sentences. There are 8 sentences here. Let's look at number 1. So you have 3 options, A, B, and C. Number 1, when we go camping, I rely on you to put up a. So answer A, tent, B, ceiling, and C, terrace house. So let's look at the keyword. The keyword here will be camping. Okay. For number 2, my sister's going to move into a of flats in the west end. Options A, lift, B, block, C, garage. So the keyword here will be flats. For number 3, the great thing about a house is that you don't share any walls with others. Option A, terrace, B, semi-detached, C, detached. So the keywords are don't share any walls with others. So what type of house is this? Okay, number 4, you can see the castle on the cliff out of my bathroom. Okay, A, sink, B, window, C, bungalow. So the keywords are C, out of. Okay, number 5, when I get older, I'm going to buy a lovely with a stream in the garden. So A, cottage, B, kitchen, C, 3rd floor. So keywords, a stream. Or you can include in the garden. Okay, number 6, Mom, you look tired. I'll tidy the for you. So tidy is the keyword here. So options A, fridge, B, ceiling, C, living room. Okay, next. 7, Dad, can you help? I can't open the door. So I can't open the door. So A will be keys, B, garage, C will be bed. Keyword here will be door. Okay, number 8, your plumber did a great job. Your nail looks lovely. So keyword will be plumber. So options A, roof, B, garden, C, sink. Here we have the answers for the exercise. So number 1, the answer is tent. Number 2, block. Number 3, detached. Number 4, window. Number 5, cottage. Number 6, living room. Number 7, garage. Number 8, sink. Now we're going to move on to the next part of the lesson. So can you name the city? Look at the picture. Do you know where is this place? The answer is it is in Venice. Next one, what type of transportation is this? Okay, it is definitely a water transportation. So the object here is named gondola. Okay, next for task 3. Watch the video and decide if the statements are true or false.
It is early morning in Venice. Before the light of the sun fills the famous Piazza San Marco, the traders of Venice are getting ready for the crowds of tourists. In a few hours, thousands of people will come to this square. But for now, the people of Venice have the city to themselves. Market traders welcome the first visitors.
Signore, buongiorno. Prego.
Early morning is the best time for shopping in the outdoor markets.
We have many kinds of fish.
This is the part of Venice that most visitors never see. This is the Venice that some people call home. Resident Fabrizio Copano says that he lives in the most beautiful city in the world. It's a city that's clean and easy to live in, with a high quality of life. But for some people, Venice has disadvantages too.
My son, he doesn't love live in Venice. I'm very sorry.
The population of Venice is getting increasingly older. Why? Fabrizio says living in Venice is not cheap. Property is particularly expensive, and housing prices have increased a lot in recent years. It's especially difficult for young people looking for their own place to live. Many of them must move away, leaving Venice to the tourists. It seems like the whole world has come here to the Piazza San Marco. The tourists come to experience a city that feels like it's still in the 15th century. And some local people say that's the problem.
Venice did change a lot since I was born.
Giovanni Dal Misier is one of the younger people trying to stay in his hometown. During the day, the huge crowds of visitors can make just getting home from work very difficult.
I get bored with people and with the tourists because there are too many.
Jobs are another problem. Do you want to be a gondolier or work with tourists? If not, it can be difficult to earn a living here. But some say that the young people leaving Venice will soon find that other cities are not so different.
Florence is very expensive. Rome is very expensive. London, Paris, Vienna.
It has been said that anyone who comes to Venice will fall in love, even if it's only with Venice itself. Giovanni Dal Misier knows the feeling. He says that despite all the challenges here, it's hard to think of living anywhere else.
I know that it's a very special gift that for me it's a gift to live in a city as Venice.
Only a few people get to enjoy living in Venice. These days, even fewer people are ready to face the challenges of living here. But for those who stay, it can be a wonderful experience. Every day, they can experience the joy of falling in love with Venice all over again.
After watching the video, you can decide whether the statements are true or false. So please remember that you have to write T for true or F for false. So let's look at the first statement. The first is, early evening is the best time to shop in outdoor markets. Number 2, Fabrizio Copain thinks Venice is the most beautiful city in the world. So number 3, Gino Penzo's son doesn't live in Venice. Number 4, the average age of people living in Venice is increasing. Number 5, Venice is the only expensive city. And number 6, lots of people enjoy living in Venice. Let's look at the answers. So for number 1, the answer is false. Number 2, true. Number 3, true. Number 4, true. Number 5, false. And the last one, number 6, is true. For task 4, now pupils, watch this interesting video. So this is the link to the video.
If the word is too long, commonly used, we tend to narrow it down to its simpler versions. Take LA for example, or Neuburg, which stands for Neubrandenburg. The names you'll see in today's video are so long, you'll crack your tongue against them. Try to repeat at least one of those, and you'll see that it ain't an easy task. Mamunkukumparantinkunya is a name of a hill in Australia, and apparently it marks a place where the devil urinates because that's what it means. So that's 26 letters in a word. That's a whole alphabet right there. It's the longest name in Australia. It was the Aboriginal people of the Central Australian desert who came up with it. Bovenendwankelasseslekte, a village in South Africa, and it's the second longest word, which is formed out of 27 letters. Also, it is the 9th longest name in the world, and the meaning of it is most peculiar. It means the upper end of a throat-cut valley. Venkatanaris Majaravaripeta. It is a railway station in Andhra Pradesh in India. It's the longest railroad in all the India. 28 letters is a lot of letters, and so people also came up with a short version of it, and now everybody just calls it Shri. Yeah, it's such a relief for your tongue. Here comes a slightly longer word. Patchwalk my cox was pay wind wick. Guess what that is? It's a lake in Manitoba in Canada. I'm sure I mispronounced it, but it comes from an old Cree dialect. It means a place where fishing hooks are used to catch wild trout. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? The lake is in the northwest part of Manitoba, not far from the Ontario border, so that's 31 letters in a single word. It is considered to be the 7th longest single place name in the world. Ateritsi puteritsi puoli lautatsjanka. 35 letters, long Finnish word. And although many Finnish words are generally long, this one is particularly long, and it's the 3rd longest place name in Europe. It's a bog region in Lapland, which is a part of Finland located beyond the Arctic Circle. To be honest, it's not actually a real word. Some pub owner came up with it in order to attract attention to his fine establishment. Next comes Spain. Aspili queta garaya cosa roya renbere colarea. 39 letters, officially the longest word in Spain. It actually came from the Basque language and then it was translated into English. So here's what it means. The low field of a high pan of Aspilcueta. Alright, my tongue hurts a little, but let's move on. Twee buffels meetin skurt mors dod gets kitorftein. Guess what? It's a farm in South Africa. Comes from Afrikaans and means a spring where 2 buffaloes were killed by use of 1 shot. It is the longest word in South Africa as it has 44 letters in it. Chagagagog, Manchagagog, Chaubanagangamug. There, I said it. So it's a lake in Webster, Massachusetts, which is in the United States. It is actually most commonly known as Lake Webster. Here's what it means. Fishing point that's at the boundaries and which is a neutral meeting point. It isn't far away from Connecticut. There are 45 letters in this word and it's the longest place name in the United States. Okay, here comes. Jan virpul gongil gorgech uquin drob gol yango yogogogoch. That's 58 symbols with 3 freaking L's in a row in it. You can tell it's a long word and you gotta try really hard to say it. Often people just say Langfair PG instead, and that's a lot more convenient, isn't it? So it's a name of a large community of villages in Wales, if you want to know. Just like that Finnish guy we talked about before, some pub owner gave this peculiar name to the place in order to attract attention. Alright, here's the longest word ever. You ready? Here it comes. Tau matafaka kangi kau wow wow tamataritori pu kaugaron ku pokai wenkai kantahu. Jesus Christ, that's 85 letters. It's the name of a hill in the southern part of New Zealand. It's in Maori and it means the place where Tamti, the man who had big knees, the climber of mountains, the slider, the land swallower that traveled about, played the nose flute that he had to the loved ones. That's the longest word in the world, you guys. And it's in the Book of Guinness World Records for that. Wow. Right, so don't forget to leave a like if you like this video, and I'll see you next time.
How was the video just now? It is interesting, right? Okay, now for task 5, reading. Read about the place with the longest name in the world. Then complete the table with suitable answers. What is the longest place name in the world? So the longest place name in the world is this one. It is a town in a hill on New Zealand's North Island. So how to pronounce the name? Well, you can listen to the name being pronounced on the next slide.
Taumata whakatangihanga ko auau o tamatea pokai whenua ki tāna tahu.
The world's longest place name belongs to a hill near Parangaha in the southern Hawke's Bay in New Zealand. It is a name given in the Maori language. This hill is 305 meters tall and is famously known for its long name. This name has since been shortened to Taumata for the ease of pronunciation. The meaning of the name has been translated to mean the place where Tamata, the man who had big knees, the climber of mountains, the slider, the land swallower that traveled about, play the nose flute that he had to the loved ones. With 85 characters, it is the longest place name in the world according to the Guinness World Records.
After listening to the text and also reading it, you now need to fill in the table with suitable answers from the text. Okay, now we have here the name of the town, and then you have characters will be the number of letters, and then you have the location, origin, meaning, and the last one is short name. So try to fill in the table without looking at the answers on the next slide. Dear pupils, for this slide we have the answers, so you can read the answers and compare your answers to this one. We have now come to the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you will be able to understand more about a place called home. So for the next lesson, I will include other skills. So remember to subscribe to my channel. It is called Educator Omni Tube. So signing off, I'm your teacher, Madam Gan. Bye bye.